Hi all. Okay. We're gonna do a get ready with me this morning. So I have not ever done one of these, but sometimes I like watching them just because, I don't know, it's interesting. So I do first want to talk about my eyelashes. So I had been getting eyelash extensions, like going to somebody getting eyelash extensions, oh gosh, pretty much for like the past 2 years, I think is what it's been. I started last year, probably like 6 months before I got married, and then just recently stopped doing it. So I had to cancel my last appointment, which was supposed to be like last week. Typically I would go every 2 weeks. And the girl that did them, like, I love her to death. Like, nothing against the way she did it. I mean, that's not why I stopped doing it. But I have been seeing on Instagram, one of the people that I follow have been talking about the Blinkify lashes and how she used to get lash extensions and then she started doing these and how much she loves them. And so, I'm just going to move this up just a little bit. And so, I had been thinking, like, man, maybe I would like to try those. I am also a hairstylist. I don't think I've ever mentioned that before. That's what I went to school for. I've been a licensed cosmetologist for officially 8 years now. But I've always like been interested in hair. Like I always did everybody's hair through high school, all of that. So I love, doing things to myself, eyelash extensions, makeup, hair, all of those things. And so I've been wanting to try them because I'm like, okay, like I'm super busy. So to schedule out an appointment and to go, I would always have to do it super early in the morning. It was never really like an inconvenience, but it was an inconvenience, especially to have to go every 2 weeks. And it was expensive. I mean, in my area, so like typically I would tip, with tip and everything, it would be like $60 to $65 every 2 weeks. And by the time I would go in, obviously I would lose my lashes because that's normal. It's normal to shed them. Like not my real lashes, but the fake false lashes that were put on, the extensions. And so I was like, if I could do these and they stay full because they're like a little strip instead of losing them and then them looking bare by the time I would go, and it's only like $20 for an entire huge like 3-piece set, that's like a no-brainer to me. So I just put these on Saturday evening. So today's Monday, right? Yeah, today's Monday. And I have had 0 issues with them. I really like them. I need to kind of like brush them out and stuff like that right now. But for the first time ever putting them on this way, not too bad. I've gotten lots of compliments. They probably are slightly more dramatic than most people would want them, but I wasn't really sure which ones to get. When I got my lash extensions, I always did the, what are they called? The volume. Like, so those are like the thicker black lashes, and she would do a mixture between the single ones and the ones that were like spread out, if that makes sense. And so I always liked having, like, I like the dramatic. I like never having to put mascara on. Like, I like that. So that's what I like. And so here, I'll show you. So I got 2 sets to start with because I wasn't sure what kind I would like. So I put the classic on. That's what these are. So these are the classic, I mean, as you can see. And like, I do not have eyelashes, like naturally. I'm blonde. I'm a natural blonde. You cannot see them unless I have mascara or something on them. They're very short. They're curly. They're a mess. I feel like 10 times better about myself when I have my lashes done. So this is what they come in. And so as you can see, so like it's 3 sets, and from what I've read, you can use each set 1 to 2 times. So potentially I could get 6 weeks out of one box, and this cost me $19.99. So to me, that's a no-brainer. And they've stayed on very well. Like, I have not had any issues. I've showered with them on. I have slept with them on, obviously. You can kind of trim them down. So they come as like 4 individual little strips. So like these 2 are a little bit longer. Like, there's some that are a little bit longer than others. But then you can see, like, these are obviously like the inner corner and the outer corner. So what I did, because my like eyes, like, I couldn't do a full, like, so I did all of them, but I couldn't do a full one. So I trimmed a little bit off each one. So I took, like, on the one that was supposed to go in the inner corner, I took like one side, like a little bit off each side. That way they would still be like long here and match up, but then still short on the inside, if that makes sense. So that way they wouldn't like look weird. And that worked the best for me. So I got those are the classic. And then I also got the princess. So the princess and the classic to me look pretty much similar. So I think the only difference between these two is that the princess is maybe just a little bit longer. So I don't know how well I'm gonna like those. I'll probably try these when I take these off and do a new set, just to try them. These ones, when I first put them on, were a little, like, I kind of felt like I had caterpillars on my eyes, not gonna lie. But I've gotten used to them. And honestly, I feel like you could trim them too. Because I also ordered they sell this like kit here. And so, okay, so this is the lash. So they have 2 separate types of lash glue, but this is the only one that they had on their website. The other one is called Lash Lock, which the people that I've seen put them on, that's the glue that they use, but they didn't have it on their website. So I don't know if they're like transitioning out of that. But this one is the No Fly Ultra Stick Adhesive, and it's worked just fine for me. It's in black, and you just put it on and let it like sit for like 20 seconds or so. And then that way it's like a little tacky, which is normally what you do if you put on falsies anyways. But anyway, so I got this little kit. I can't remember how much it was. Altogether for both of these and this and shipping, it was like $80, I think. And it literally came so quick. Like I had it in the mail within like 2 days. Like, I wasn't expecting to get it that quick. And I was like, oh, well, this is good. Because by that time, most of my lashes had fallen off, and I was trying to get them off anyways, because they just looked like I had like 3 and then just a few. And so it looked stupid. So I tried to get them off. And so literally the day that I pulled the rest of them off is the day that these came in the mail. So it was perfect. So it comes with like a little eyelash curler and extra of like the little buff, like the, I don't know what the correct term is, but like the little black piece that goes here, like the, yeah, that. Some little scissors, which was perfect to trim the little edges. It comes with these, and I really like these. I have gotten a pair of these before, but they've been plastic, like in a kit, like an eyelash kit, a falsies kit. These are great. They're very like thin. As you can see, they're very thin, and they like clasp really well. These were great to put them on. Like, usually I don't like these, and I would just use regular tweezers, which it came with regular tweezers as well, which all of these things in here are very high quality. Like, I was super impressed for the price to get all of this. But these were great. I use these to put them on, and typically like I said, I don't use those because it's easier for me just to use a regular tweezer. So, but yeah, so those are the Blinkify lashes. I really like them so far. I literally have been telling everybody, because everybody's like, oh, you got your lashes done again. I'm like, actually, no, I did them myself this time, and I don't think I'll ever go back. We're going to the lake this weekend, so we're going camping Wednesday to Sunday, and we're gonna go out on the lake. So that'll put them to like the real test, like how well do they stand up, like swimming in the lake, being out in the sun all day, going on the boat, high speeds, hitting your lashes, you know, all of that. So that'll be like the true test to it. But honestly, I'm pretty impressed, and I love them. So yeah, I think they look awesome. I mean, if I do say so myself. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So I'm not gonna do anything too crazy today. 9 times out of 10, as you guys have seen, I normally have my hair just like up in a bun all the time, but I have a meeting tonight. And so I kind of wanted to like not look like a complete bum, and I'm shedding. My hair always sheds. It's just part of it all the time. It's a constant issue. But I'm going to put in some dry shampoo. So I obviously am a cosmetologist, but I don't always use professional products. 9 times out of 10 I do. Which this technically I think is. I feel like I've seen this at the supply store that I go to, but I found it at Walmart. I was just like at Walmart and I was getting some nail polish, and so I was just looking. But I really liked it. So it's called Heritage, isn't that cute? By Mindy McKnight, and this is their dry shampoo, which I love dry shampoo, and I like the Not Your Mother's. That's what I use most of the time because it actually is more of like a powder base. I have very oily skin, like my whole body is oily. So even though I literally just washed my hair a day and a half ago, it's greasy, which it's not dirty. Like it doesn't feel dirty. It just looks shiny, and I hate that. So I always use dry shampoo. But I've used this one other time, and I really like the smell of it. It smells super good, and that's like a big thing for me, is I want it to smell good. But this is what it looks like, and my dogs are in the background, so don't judge. But yeah, it's like sulfate free, paraben free, silicone free, gluten free, aluminum free, mineral oil free. It's color safe, cruelty free, and vegan. So we're gonna put some of this in first and just kind of like brush it through here. I mainly just try to go around my hairline the most because that's always the spot that you see the first time. And then I just kind of split it a little bit here. Everybody has their own way of doing it, but mine gets greasy all over. Not really greasy because it doesn't feel dirty. It's just shiny. And then always try to make sure I get this back area here. So I let it sit for just a few, and then I kind of like massage it in a little bit. And then I go in and brush. And I have naturally curly hair, so my hair always looks crazy, especially since it's been in a bun. Because I think when I washed it last, I just put it into a bun. That's typically what I do. Oh, this hair. Okay. I don't typically like part my hair. Like typically when I curl it, I just go mess it up and do whatever. So, alrighty. Got all the rest of this loose hair out. I'll probably add just a little bit more just in this, since that's kind of like where my hair is parted typically. Kind of zoosh it a little bit here. Okay. So much hair. It's literally ridiculous. But I typically don't like to brush my hair out when it's wet. I comb it out, but that's pretty much it. Okay, and then I also got their Heritage hairspray. This one's called Grwm. And it's just a flexible hold hairspray. Typically, since my hair is naturally curly, I don't need a whole lot of hairspray. I mainly do like a texture spray, honestly, at the end, but sometimes I like to just do a light hold hairspray. And I'm gonna be real honest, that hairspray does not smell as good as the dry shampoo does. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. So yeah, so now I'm going to curl my hair, kind of do like a beach wave type look. It's typically what I like to do. I don't like it to be tightly curled, especially since I cut some of it off. I don't like it to be super short. So I'm using my Babyliss. This is a 1.5 inch barrel. And so I usually just like always start on this side of my head and start curling at the top. Leave about 1/2 inch to 1 inch out, and then I just like pull it straight out like that. And then take another little piece. I do not section my hair out when I curl it. If that works for you, you do you. For me, it does not. So with these bangs here, not exactly sure. I'm probably going to pin those back when I'm done. I don't know. We'll see what my hair looks like. So I like to take pieces that are about like 1 inch thick or so. Nothing too crazy. And I always, when I do my own hair, do everything away from my face. So as you can see, like I'm turning the barrel back to be away from my face. And then like on the other side, I'll turn the barrel the opposite way, obviously, to go away from my face then. Typically, this doesn't take me a whole heck of a long time to do. Like I said, my hair usually curls pretty easily because it is naturally curly. And I don't like for it to be like super tight or anything. Like I kind of like the more like beach wave lived in look, I guess is what it would be called. So, and what I typically do, let me move this just a little bit. So what I typically do is then after I've got most of like the top done, then I'll go and I'll reach like the underneath hair and do it. Kind of pull some of these out. And the reason for that is so my hair kind of appears like a little bit longer, so that way it doesn't look as short and like shrunk up. Since it is shorter, it's more of like a medium length right now. But I don't like my hair to be like short and like at my jawline, because I feel like that just makes my face and head look bigger than it actually is. I mean, I have a big head, but I don't want to accentuate that, if that makes sense. So then like, see, like, so this piece is like kind of up here, but I'm not going to curl it all the way up there. So see how I'm like kind of holding it away. So I still have enough to like add the curl to the bottom of it, but it's not like all the way up. So yeah, see how I'm not like holding it all the way up, because I already have all of this curled up here, so I don't necessarily like need it to go all the way up there. Grab this piece here. And I just kind of like comb it out, like whatever part I'm actually putting around the barrel, I kind of like finger comb out a little bit. So then now that I have like most of this done, now I'll switch, move this over. I'll switch to this side here. And don't mind the background today. I'm washing our shower curtain. I don't know if people like do that all the time, but I do. So we have like really hard water in the town that we live in. And so I typically have to replace like the plastic like inner shower curtain like liner thing, I have to replace it like all the time. I would say like at least every like 6 months at the longest amount of time. But I would say like at least every 6 months is when I have to replace the clear part. And so every time that I replace that, I just go ahead and wash the fabric shower curtain that's on the outside. I don't really know if people do that, but I do. Because they're just like those fabric ones, and I have 3 dogs and a cat inside because I'm a crazy person. So obviously there's going to be animal hair everywhere. So I just feel like that helps cut down on allergens and things like that in my house too. So yeah, so that's why there's not a shower curtain. And why it's not a very pretty look behind us here today, but it's okay. It's fine. We're thriving through it. So yeah, so see how I'm not going all the way up to my scalp. I'm just kind of, but see, I still have enough curl down there too. But it keeps it looking a little bit longer than it actually is. See? I do have to like obviously curl a little bit more on this side, just because I have more hair on this side, so I have to do more on this side than I do on this side, because this has more, it can hide more obviously. So now that I have most of the sides done, I'm gonna go ahead, start on the back here. And I typically hold it for about like 5 seconds or so. You don't really need to hold it on there for longer than that. I think a lot of people have issues with like frying their hair, especially like if they're blonde like I am. And the main reason behind that is if you are using heat on your hair and your curling iron or hot tool of some sort is, the temperature is turned up way too high and you're leaving it on there too long, you're literally just frying the shit out of your hair. So that's one thing I always tell people. Like, if you're having issues with frying your hair, let's not look at what you're, you know, it's not always what products you're using. It's not always, you know, what you're doing to it. Most of the time, it's just what's your daily routine at home. So, yeah, I have a lot of hair, as you can see, but my hair texture is fine. So like if I didn't have the amount of hair that I have, I would look like I'm balding probably, because of how thin and fine like my individual hair strands are. So thankfully I have a lot of hair, so that's not the case. But so with my hair, I have to be extremely careful because I could easily fry it off, even though it looks like I have a lot of hair, like, and I would need to use like a higher temperature or, you know, leave it on for longer than I do. I actually don't, because my hair texture is so fine that it will burn it essentially. So especially since I'm blonde, like I'm naturally a blonde anyways, like, I mean, it looks like, I mean, I have like a little bit of roots, but my natural hair color is like a 7/8, which most people probably don't know what that means, but like in the hair world, like a level 1 is black and a level 10 is like lightest blonde. So I'm like a 7/8 naturally. And so I typically just get highlights, or every once in a while do something fun. Like I've gone I've been dark before. I've been like red, like a light red. I've been like a maroon burgundy red, which low-key have been thinking about doing again. But I haven't completely talked myself out of it, but I'm probably going to talk myself out of it just because I know how hard it is to get back blonde. Red is the hardest thing to keep in your hair, but it's also the hardest thing to get out. I know that probably doesn't make that much sense, but it's true. And I've done it multiple times to myself, and I'm here to tell you that it's true. Last time I went copper blonde or copper red, and it wasn't even like a dark red. It was like I said, it was a copper, so it wasn't very, it was more like a natural red hair, like red color. When I decided to get that out, it took me 7 hours in my bathroom to get myself back blonde in multiple bleaching sessions. So now that I pretty much have all of my hair done here, I think I got a couple pieces here in the back I can still feel. Luckily for me, I pretty much like know where the pieces of hair that I still need to do are. Most people would have to look at a mirror, but when you've been doing this for a while, you just don't know. Just have a few right here in the middle, back area. And back here, I try to like do mostly all of it like how I do on this side, just because I like for it to be fuller in the back. Okay, so I feel like that's good. Let's see. I'm gonna use a little bit more of this hairspray just for shits and grins today, even though it doesn't really smell that good. I don't know why it stinks so bad. Like, I figured that it would smell like, have like a same scent. Usually call it like different lines, especially like they're the same color, like even if it's a different, because I think they had like some different colored labeled bottles. So I feel like even if it's like the same like brand, but sometimes different colors, like if it's for different types of hair, but at least they would like, each one would have like the same scent, if that makes sense. But these ones do not. It kind of smells like, I don't know. I can't even pinpoint what the smell is, but it reminds me, like part of the smell reminds me of like a certain brand of hairspray, and I can't remember which one it is. So after I do that, as you can see, I just kind of, I have lots of layers in my hair right now, which helps with the volume. So yeah, so I just kind of, you know, do that. I like to always kind of like tuck my hair on the side, kind of, you know, get it to go however I want. It never stays like this because I'm always like rubbing my hands through my hair or doing all these different things to it. So it doesn't always stay looking the exact same way, but it stays curled, which is the important part. So sometimes I'll kind of do that. And yeah, so this is like day 3 hair, but I hadn't done anything to it except for it being in a bow. And yeah, so I'm gonna shut my curling iron off so I don't forget, because I will. Put this over here. So yeah, get a drink of my coffee. I got these cups at Starbucks. I've been looking for cups like this. Like, I've always wanted like a Starbucks cup with just like a simple lid and a straw that isn't like an insulated one. And so I finally found some one day. So it was like a pack of 5. I drink out of them all the time. I love them. But I have the Starbucks like iced coffee, like the medium unsweetened roast one. And they have a new Starbucks, it's a Starbucks creamer. I think it's like, it's caramel macchiato, but it has no dairy in it. So it's got almond milk and oat milk in it. And it's really good, actually. Like, it tastes really good. So that's what I usually have been drinking. when I do that. Okay, so now we're gonna do makeup here. And 9 times out of 10, I do not wear makeup, but I'm just gonna do a little bit something today just for fun. Also, I got this, I see people use this all the time. It's the Instant Age Rewind Eraser, like the multi-use concealer. Who is it? Maybelline? Yeah, Maybelline that makes this. I see people use it all the time, and I've never used it. But I see people use it all the time, like for under their eyes and stuff. And like typically, I think I have it in here. So most of the time, kind of set my stuff here. I always have like a hodgepodge of everything. So I alternate between, got it. Okay. Anywho, so I always alternate between using like professional products like from Sephora or Ulta. I've gotten a couple things from there before. And I have like a bunch of palettes and stuff that are like, you know, fancy palettes, but I don't always use them. So what I had been doing was using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. And like what I would do is I would just put it, you know, like under my eyes and do all that kind of stuff. But I'd seen a lot of people using this and I'm like, I kind of want to try that. So, but first I'm going to put a primer on my skin. So I really like Bare Minerals. That's like probably, like if I had to pick a makeup brand to use forever, it would be Bare Minerals. Do I always use Bare Minerals? No. Typically in the summertime, I do not use Bare Minerals because number one, it's expensive. Number two, I don't wear makeup every day. So, and my skin tone changes because I'm out in the sun. And so I tan. I'm a very white person. Like, as you can see, that's my tan line from my watch. And so I tan in the summertime because we're always out on the boat, we're always camping, we're always outside, we're always doing something, which I feel like is most people's saying. So to me, since it changes so much, I don't want to go spend the money to buy a new shade every time I get a little bit more tan, if that makes sense. So typically in the wintertime, that's what I use. But I really like they have like their Blemish Rescue, which this is the primer from there, and it is like a green. And so it's a skin clearing, anti-redness, mattifying primer. So I've used Bare Minerals for a really long time. Like my friend and I used to go to the actual like Bare Minerals store because they had one that's like only like an hour from here. And so it wasn't that far away for us to go to it. And like, we would just go there and that's what we used in high school, out of high school, like all the time. And so, I've always just used like the regular stuff. Well, then they came out, it's been a couple years now, I think, with their Blemish Rescue line. So they have a special brush and everything, which I use the brush. So this is, it is a brush and it has, with antibacterial charcoal in it. Okay. So it like, even down to like the brush that you use with it is to help fight acne. I have acne prone skin. My face is oily, so it helps mattify the oil, all of that. So I love it. I really do. But like I said, I don't want to go buy I don't want to have to buy new stuff multiple times a summer because my face is getting darker and darker and darker. So now that I put that on, I'm going to use the Instant Age Rewind. I'm like afraid I'm going to like get too much of it out and then have too much in here. And I'm hoping this is the right shade. Guess we'll find out. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of put this where I always do. So I always do like there and there, okay? Alrighty. Now I'm actually going to take my brush. Because even if I'm not using Bare Minerals with it, it is like the perfect like buffing brush, if that makes sense. Okay, just gonna push that in. feels nice on my skin. Not bad. So it just kind of like covers up just a little bit, which is really all I need. I don't need much. So now I'm gonna be real simple, and this is all I'm doing today. So now I have the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Matte Bronzer. I don't even know if they make this anymore. It literally smells like chocolate, and I love it. It is like the perfect bronzer slash like contour. So I always do it right in my cheek area, on the sides of my nose, here, and then up here. And I'm just gonna take my other brush that I rub my concealer in with, take it on top of my eyelids, and that's it. We ain't going for Hollywood here. We're just going for something. So then I'm gonna put, this is the best mascara ever. It's a Too Faced Better Than Sex. And obviously I don't need it on my top lashes because I have extensions on. So I'm just gonna put it down there. And that's it. That's literally all we're doing. So, super simple, super easy. Takes me longer to do my hair than anything, but it's okay. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of push these up, which I did use the eyelash, I did use the eyelash curler to kind of like curl them up just a little bit after I put them on. But yeah, my hair's crazy. Which my hair is always crazy, like this is normal. It's always all over the place. But yeah, so there we go. I might put a little like lip on later. But yeah, my skin actually isn't all that bad. And sometimes I do more. I mean, I have like where I fill my eyebrows in because as you can see, my eyebrows are also blonde. It's the same color of my eyelashes. But yeah, typically just to make myself look like I'm not a complete bum, this is what I do. Or I'll have my hair up in a bun and then I'll do this to my face. So yeah, I look for easy, nothing difficult. I don't have the time for it. If I'm going out and doing something special, then yeah, I'll do something more, but most of the time I'm not. So here we are. So yeah, so thanks for coming to my get ready with me. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And yeah, make sure notifications are turned on. Thanks.